Welcome back for another video. In this one we will talk about every single match in game week 3 for the first 5 games, and the other 5 is in the second part. Expected goals conceded, fixtures and more in this video. The first match is Chelsea home to Luton at Stamford Bridge. After the draw in the last match against Liverpool, the expected goals will surely be few. For this match it is 0.54, but of course against Luton's weak defense that we saw against Brighton, expected goals for Chelsea will be higher, and Luton Town is the 20th in the team standing for expected goals conceded. It's a season that does not bode well for Luton. For the fixtures, Chelsea's route is very easy for the next 5 weeks, so of course your transfers this week should contain Chelsea players in. As for Luton Town, it seems that their fixtures are good until they get used to the pressure of the Premier League. To know the players who we have to get, we need to know from which side of the field this team attack. For Chelsea, the attacks are distributed on both sides, left and right, and just 22% of attacks comes from the middle, and Luton Town attacks comes mostly from the left side, so these are the best selections. From Chelsea, of course, Chilwell is the best option. His price raised by 0.2 mil, but he still deserves it. And on the left side too, there is Jackson by 7 mil. On the right side, the best one is James, but he is injured, so Sterling could be a good one, but I don't prefer him. For me, Jackson of course is better. From Luton Town there is only one option you can go with, who is the penalties taker, Morris. Actually he's a differential who you can put on the bench, but for me there are other good options in the same price range. Next we have Bournemouth against Tottenham at Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth started the season by a draw with West Ham when they were the strongest side. Then yesterday they lost against Liverpool, so they still can score goals with Solanke as a striker, but also they have a bad rank when we talk about expected goals conceded. On the other hand, Tottenham with Ange Postecoglou, they did a great performance against Man United yesterday when they won 2-0. They now have a really high number of expected goals, 1.11, but they still could concede a lot of goals as we saw in the match against Brentford. Bournemouth fixtures is very easy as you see, but for Tottenham they have 3 easy fixtures until game week 5, then they have Arsenal and Liverpool. Bournemouth attack from the right side mostly, and 36% of attacks comes from the left side. All the team plays in the service of Solanke, who can finish it off. For Tottenham, attacks comes from the right side by 40%, and the remaining 60 distributed equally on the middle and the left. So it's not clear yet, but you can say for Tottenham, Maddison is the best choice. It's not clear for Son yet, but I think he will start to be in the striker position next to Richarlison, or maybe instead of him. And for Bournemouth, of course, Solanke is the best one. Arsenal won their first match 2-1 against Nottingham. They have shot 7 shots on the target, made them temporarily 9th on expected goals ranking. This number of course will be low for just one match, and they're still solid on defense when they come as the second best team with 0.2 for expected goals conceded. Fulham was so lucky to win the match against Everton when they conceded 9 shots on the target without any goals scored for Everton. So for me, no Mitrovic, no Fulham assets in my team. And when you talk about fixtures, Fulham has a very hard fixtures. Arsenal, then Man City, Luton Town is not hard, but then they have Crystal Palace, which is I think not easy for Fulham, and Chelsea of course hard one. On the other hand, Arsenal still with kinda good fixtures, which is good to make them continue in competition. Now let's take a look at the attacks. For Arsenal, Saka's side has 40% of attacks, and the left side of Martinelli has low number compared to the last season. And from the middle, it's good number to players like Odegaard to shoot from outside of the box. For Fulham, it's only the left side. Almost 50% of attacks comes from there. Best options is Saka of course, then Odegaard we expect a bit of performance from him in coming games. Saliba or Gabriel is good defender options, we just need to wait to know who are the main players in the back line. Then Ketia could be a great differential if Arteta continues to rely on him. Next we will talk quickly about Brentford and Crystal Palace. Brentford played a great match against Tottenham and Fulham yesterday. They have a really powerful attacking style, all of these without Ivan Toney. Still they can concede many goals, they came 11th in expected goals conceded ranking. For Palace, they were so unlucky when they shot 8 shots on the target and scored only 1 goal. So their attack will be good with Eze and Edward, and defensively they are so good. For Brentford, attacks distributed in all the field, but it looks more a little bit on the right side, which is Mbeumo's side. For Crystal Palace, attacks comes from both sides, left and right. Brentford fixtures are so good, but Crystal Palace fixtures is hard actually. So for me, these are the best selections according to statistics that I show you. Mbeumo with penalties will be a great 6.6 mil selection. West scored a goal yesterday. Eze was unlucky against Sheffield, but he still is a good option. And as I mentioned, Crystal have a good defense, so Johnston will be a good choice. Last match in this part is Everton against Wolves. Everton was so unlucky in the first match against Fulham when they shot 9 shots on the target, but they didn't score any goal. They lost 1-0. Defensively, they were good, we know Shondaish. For Wolves, it was a very impressive game against Man United, but yesterday it was absolutely terrible match with Brighton. It finished 4, but it could be easily up to 7. Everton attacks comes from the right side mostly, and the high number of attacks comes from the left side. They have to work more on finishing. If they did, and chemistry becomes higher, Mopay will be a good option. For Wolves, attacks comes from the left side, which is Cunha and Nunes side. Fixtures for both of them were not easy. Maybe Everton has easier fixtures. So for me, I didn't think about anyone from both teams, but Mopay with his high number of shots on the target and expected goals could be a choice if he improved his finishing. Pickford is a good 4.5 mil selection like Johnston, and Cunha was so dangerous when I saw him against Man United. He is a differential, I don't recommend, but you can try him. Today we talked about 5 matches. In part 2 we will talk about the remaining 5, so subscribe and be ready. If you like this video, give it a like, and see you guys in the next video.